So now I would like to go a little bit about failure part. Everything is like there is an in game, and something going to be fail, something going to be successful. Different people see failure in a different way. Different people see success in a different way too. But end of the day, if a company go bankrupt, that is definitely a start of failure. Probably there's a lot of things entrepreneur can still learn from that failure, but that could be a very expensive knowledge to learn about. So let's talk a little bit about how to avoid the failure. So Ludwig, the next question you would like to discuss with you is about what are the top things which you think the startup actually the reason the startup failed, the top 5 things which makes a startup fail, and how a founder can avoid those things.
Yeah, it's often that entrepreneurs start from an idea they are very fascinated about, but they forget to really orientate this on the market, to do a very good market analysis if there's really the demand for this product or service, and also to target in the right way the customer group. That is, if it's not clearly enough defined, and so then there is a product that is maybe interesting, but it does not meet really in this location where you offer it. For example, your the market demand. That can be one problem where companies fail, or often they also underestimate. That happens, I think, is even one of the most points that often happens, unfortunately, that you as an entrepreneur, you are so fascinated about this idea and underestimate the time until this business hits the ground running. So it takes often time until this business idea is really successful and pays off. And in this, nevertheless, through this starting time where you're at the beginning very fascinated and enthusiastic, and so there are also some harder times, where you have to go through the desert and you feel not secure, you try to get maybe more capital, and so, and if you then come into the situation that you run out of capital and underestimate this time until it takes really your business is successful, then you can fail. Even this, if you would be a bit longer, some years continuing to push it, and so then you would be successful. But sometimes it's then underestimated how much time that really needs, and engagement, how long you need. You have to really, as entrepreneur, go and push that through until it is successful in times. And that happens very often also for big companies. Then is a one critical point can be also that you really have the wrong team. You started your company with some friends and they are still involved, but not so much that they decide in these difficult times, for example, to take on another job or something like this, because the risk is very high as an entrepreneur, and then you have the wrong team. They are not engaged and want to be successful 100%. That can be a problem. The wrong team. Then also underestimating sometimes the competition, so that either the competition is already there and you did not check it carefully enough at the beginning, or the competition suddenly arises because you have, for example, Berlin is in Germany the place to be for startups and entrepreneurs. But there is a very big startup scene also, and they observe also what are the things, the business models they work, and they are interesting, and they come up with the same idea, modify it, and they are maybe more successful than you in an early stage. That can be another failure. And then the wrong pricing, of course, that can be also lead to fail, because either you have to look for it, that it really is enough for what you want to have for your service or product, that it covers the costs, of course, but it should be also reasonable to your customers. If you are there too high or too low, then you will also after a while, you fail.
Thank you, Ludwig. I think for sharing those 5 key reasons. I absolutely agree with all of them too. So the number 1 is mentioning is about forgetting to do the market analysis, because entrepreneurs get passionate about, oh, I really love doing this one. This is something going to be exciting. This is going to be, I'm going to change the world, which is great. This is entrepreneurship spirit. But that urgency often lead entrepreneur to found something, forgetting to doing a market analysis and to understand the real demand. And in my life, I have seen so many things, and I think more or less every entrepreneur suffer with that one too. So that's why, like an example, most of the entrepreneurs who even become successful, they even failed few times and get the lesson to understand that no, it's about market analysis and demand, and then actually building a product and solution. So that's number 1. Number 2 is about underestimating the effort and difficulty. So on this one, what I realized is 10x. People always tends to underestimate what they are going to do in next 5 years, but people always like to overestimate what they're going to do in next 1 year. So like for example, they think the next 1 year they're going to do X, but the next 5 years, the estimations will be much wronger what they're going to do 1 year. Or it comes with the difficulty too. So when they try to do something, they think that, oh, it's going to be way easier than what is actually it is. The real difficulties level of getting things done is much more high difficulty than what they're assuming about. The third thing is about having a wrong team. Yes, having the right team is one of the key aspects. Having the wrong team will never take the team anywhere. So even me, anything I want to do, first, I want to have the right team. And that's such a crucial one. And number 4, let you mention, is about understanding the competitor and the new player, because it's a market is always changing, and market never loyal as well too. Today it can say I love you, but tomorrow they can say that I hate you, just because of things change. It's so fast. And the last one is about the wrong pricing. Wrong pricing, I think one of the biggest mistake entrepreneurs do is about underprice their product, and they think that underpricing their product, they're going to be acquiring more customer. But underpricing the customer is a wrong tactics, because when underpricing the customer, you can actually put your product in a lower spectrum in the market, which is highly competitive. A lower spectrum always highly competitive too. So if your product is not really great, improve the product rather than going for a very low spectrum of the market. So if you could improve the product, you can go for mid-range, or you can go upper range, or you probably know the story of the Yellowtail when they were creating the new wine. Wine is a very, very, very complicated industry, but the way they created a new kind of wine, like with a mixture between the taste of wine and also beer, kind of a mixture of it, and create a new model into it, and did not lower the price that much as well too. So product innovation is the key. Pricing is not, if you do the not product innovation, you'll always have a wrong pricing too. So thank you very much for sharing this one too as well. And those are really valuable aspects too. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're watching, if you paying really strong aspect on this 5 other point, which Ludwig just mentioned in his sharing as well too. If you have questions, put your questions in the comment below. We want to give you more details and give you more solutions as well too.